when you're learning, you have to focus on technique. So you can't really do too much movement. It's a bit distracting and you could lose your technique. But once you've got the technique for using your stomach muscles, you can allow yourself to do a bit more movement, knowing that you're still focusing on the core all the time. You don't let that go. Okay? Sphinx position for a minute, and I moved my legs, which I found it eases the pressure on my knees when I take the feet off the floor. And then if you bend it a little bit more, it somehow makes it easier. And it makes it easier because your glutes contract. Your glutes contract, it helps with the stomach work. So it's a little bit of a cheat. And the main thing is, as long as you're still using your stomach muscles and you don't allow your back to drop down, there's nothing wrong with it as such, because glutes are good to work out as well. So sometimes glutes are underused. So a combination of stomach and glutes is great. What we're trying to avoid overusing is the back. Straight arm, straight leg work. The idea of that is just to vary the stress on the shoulders, because when you do straight arm, it's not as hard on your shoulders, it's harder on your wrists instead, which is fine because you're just doing a minute. So when you do the straight leg, straight arm work, that's quite intense, and I varied it with a little bit of, did a little press up, not a big one, just a little press up, and also I did knee down and up, knee down and up, trying to stay still through the body and just move one leg. You can do it with both, of course. And you can also do leg lift, that's glute work as well. And then I did a little bit of downward dog, and then back into position. So when you're adding all those extra movements, it means you're not static, it's fluid, it helps. You're working hard, but it's great when you can just kind of move, keep the blood flowing, keep the energy flowing. Sphinx position, and we're going to work on core mainly, trying to avoid using the back. Breathe in to prepare. Pull up, keep your back straight. I'm going to add movement, you don't have to. Timing you now, 2 minutes. Squeeze your stomach up. Breathe. So that's half a minute. So that's a minute. I'm going to continue with the straight arm, straight leg position. "30 seconds. 10 seconds to go. And relax. Shell stretch. Deep breaths, stretch your back. I want to do swimming with the legs, and then swimming with the arms and legs together, and then a speeded up version for the advanced, where basically everything's all off the floor at the same time, both arms and legs, and it's a bit like wiggly skydiving or something. Do make sure you've got plenty of padding underneath you, because if you do lift both legs off, you definitely need to make sure you're padded sufficiently so it doesn't hurt. So, lying on your front, head relaxed, shoulders away from the ears. Squeeze those glutes. Stretch. 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 Alternate leg stretches, trying very hard not to bend your knee. So you're squeezing the front thigh as well. So that's the single leg swimming technique. With your arms. Now, traditionally with Pilates swimming, we'd have the arms up there. What I found through many years of teaching when I asked people to do this is the shoulders went right up to their ears, and that's no good at all. You easily hurt your back doing that. So I got everybody to pull the shoulders down, and that sort of elbows out position really helps to reinforce the shoulder down position. So I decided that I'd rather people were in this position. It's easier and it's really good at allowing you to keep your shoulders down. Now, if you are advanced, just experiment yourself if you want to with sliding your arm a little bit forward and seeing how much harder it is, and just still keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Just be really careful about the shoulder position if you do take your arms further up. So I'm not saying never do it. I am saying it comes with a health warning for your back. Shoulder position. So lying on your front, forehead on your block, shoulders very definitely away from the ears. Lift one, lift the other. Now I'm just hovering my head above the floor now, and at the same time I'm doing my arm work. And I hope what you can see is that my head isn't moving from side to side at all. I'm staying still. I'm not even resting my forehead. I'm quite happy where I am. But what's happening is my shoulders are working well, my core's working well, and the additional work to lift the arm off the floor, float the arm off the floor, it's not that much extra work because I'm already in the correct position. If I were not in the correct position, so if my shoulders were up here and then I tried to lift the arm, this is what happens. The head moves around because the whole body's moving around because you haven't got the right shoulder position. So if you notice that's happening with yourself, really check your shoulder positions. So the difference between that and that is what I'm talking about. I hope you can see it from where you are. Okay, so the advanced version of this is everything moving at the same time. So first of all, we'll do it slowly and then we'll speed it up. So first of all, opposite arm and leg, slowly up and down. Opposite arm and leg. Remind you to keep your leg really straight, which means contracting the front thigh. Stretching away, squeezing your bottom. Okay, so from opposite arm and leg, we go to one side going up, still opposite. One side goes up, the other comes down. Okay, so that's like Sanders really. And then we've got the speeded up version. What tends to happen is that as you go into the speeded up version, sometimes you lose the opposite arm and leg coordination and you end up wobbling because you end up with the same side going up at the same time. So right arm, right leg, left arm, left leg. So if that happens, just stop, regroup, start again. Okay? Breathe in to prepare. Shoulders down, tummy in, bottom tight, legs off, arms off, and then left leg, right arm, left leg, and off we go. So what you're striving to do with that one is keep your head still, keep your body quite still, and just move the arms and legs like the clappers. Stomach tight. If you feel your back starting to hurt, stop straight away. Or anything else for that matter. Try again. By all means, rest your head on something. Forehead. Main thing is keep breathing. It's impossible for me to talk, breathe and do that exercise at the same time. And then do your shell stretch. Breathe deeply, breathe into your back. Bridge, sorry. I want to do some rolling and twisting, and I thought it'd be fun to combine the two, that is rolling and twisting. So the rolling, is rolling back. So we've done that before. You start off tall and straight. You sort of scoop the tailbone under. Imagine you're hooking a beach ball, hollowing out in front, keeping that rounded, and then come up. And the twisting, sit up tall and you twist at the waist, you twist the rib cage and twist and twist. So the twisting technique is it's very difficult when you're sitting on the floor, because you want to lean back, you want to be rounded, and you're trying to stay neutral and straight up. And twist. So if you combine the two, you roll down, you roll up, and you twist. Then next time you do it the other way. Roll down, stay rounded, roll up, twist the other way. Roll down, roll up, twist and stretch. Roll down, roll up, twist. And of course you can add a complete roll down, so you could roll all the way to the floor, all the way back up. Twist, roll down, roll up, twist, roll down, stay down, bend your knees, and our next move is shoulder bridge. Remove any blocks or over large head supports. A little head support's fine, something quite thin. Nothing too bulky, because once you start rolling up, the angle changes and we need to avoid the neck taking any weight. So there's no weight going through there. The weight's going through the shoulders, just there, and that's fine. And then you roll down. So you may recall we've had several variations, fun things to do with your shoulder bridge, including weights actually. We had two of my classes, we've used weights. And that's a very useful time to use your weights, because you get to lie down in a good position. So you could have your arms there with weights, say 1K in each hand. Roll up, and as you roll up, take your arms out. And as you roll down, take your arms back. So obviously you'll be working pecs as well as arm muscles. Roll up, take your arms out. So there we're working shoulders, opening up the chest as well as the core and glutes. So it's not for beginners, it's something that once you're very competent and you've done shoulder bridge loads of times, it's good to do. And for the back of the arms, it's quite handy Just got to imagine this is a weight, okay? This one's quite nice. If you take your weights, one in each hand, or you could combine and just have one weight between two, it's fine. Now you've got to get your elbows fixed. So the elbows not going to move at all. So temptation would be to let the elbows drift down towards your knees. But if you stay exactly where you are and straighten and bend, when you bend again, the weight should land back down where you brought it from, which is just beyond your head, okay? If, however, you've allowed your elbows to move, when you bend your elbows again, the weights end up on top of your head. So that's a clue you've not stayed still there. So if I just say to you, pretend you've got both arms going at the same time, and the elbows should stay no wider than your shoulders throughout. So you're squeezing them in. Okay, so this is the muscle you're working, the tricep muscle. So as you breathe out, you lift. As you breathe in, you lower. So this is happening with both arms. But if you want to, you could separate it and do it with one arm and then the other arm. And what I'm doing now with my opposite hand is I'm trying to stop this arm moving. So I'm keeping that like a square sort of box shape in front of me. I'm trying to keep that elbow still. Trying to monitor it. So that, do you know what? I haven't got a weight in my hand, but I'm squeezing this ball, and that is actually creating quite a lot of work further down in my arm. So that's very interesting. So I'm squeezing the ball. As I say, normally this is something that you could use weights for. So obviously if you did it one-handed, you then need to do the same with the other side. The target muscle is the triceps. The elbow must stay still. You can't allow it to drift around. You basically just straighten and bend. So if you get really sophisticated, you can combine. So you roll up, straighten up, maybe stay up while you do a few of those, possibly even combining it with knees going out and in. So it's an all singing and all dancing shoulder bridge now, isn't it? And then rolling it back down. Thing to be careful with the shoulder bridges, always remember the beauty of the shoulder bridge is all about opening up the spine and using the core and the glutes. So you always breathe in to prepare, you roll up, breathing out. Pause at the top, breathe into the rib cage, keep this firm, roll down segmentally using your core. So that is always there. You can add things on and add things on and add things on, but this basic thing must stay exactly as when you first got the hang of it. So you roll up, breathing out, use the core, use the glutes, and roll down and roll it out. So make sure whatever you add on to your shoulder bridge doesn't detract from your technique. That's really important. Okay. All that remains is to slowly rise and bid you goodbye. So roll over onto your hands and knees. Walk your hands back. Curl the toes under. Push your bottom up. Look between your legs. Slowly, 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 slowly. Walk up, walk up, walk up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Give yourself a lovely big clap. Well done.